Can you highlight a case study of a client in, say, any other country, number one, and maybe how you also work with the government in India? One or two case studies?
Well, case studies clearly. I mean, we work, for instance, I can give you an example where a company called Chibo from Germany has been working to put together a program called Social Dialogue. It's called a V program, WE, Worldwide Enhancement of Social Quality, and it's based on social dialogue between management and workers. They implemented this program in East European countries in the beginning as a pilot, then they took the program to Bangladesh, China and Thailand. And now they have launched this program in India in March 2012. And that program has been and it's a long program over 2 years when they suspend all audits and focus on building capacities and working closely with the factory management and workers. So that's one of the interesting case studies I can quote. Similar is the case with CNA, big European retailer, is developing currently. And as far as our work is concerned, we are mostly working with brands like these. Marks & Spencer is one of our major partners. H&M, Walmart, Tesco, S. Oliver, Carrefour, these are the brands that we are working very closely with. And we are designing programs for factories. And there are different interesting programs. In one program, for instance, in Bangalore, we have put together a video, 5 videos of short, 8 to 10 minutes duration on issues like harassment and abuse, worker representation, overtime, these kinds of, and we are taking it and conducting training programs for the factory personnel, and then they are taking to the workers. So that's one example. And with M&S, Marks & Spencer's, we are working to put together a certificate course for the middle management factory personnel on effective worker management. So these are some of the examples or case studies that we are working on. Another program is with the government that we are working on is, as I said, the Ministry of Textiles and Apparel Export Promotion Council. We are working with a project called Disha, I mentioned. And this program is aiming to build capacities of about 1,000 in next 5 years to build capacities and implement management system for social and environmental compliances situations.
Sure. Is there any role for NGOs in this space? Because they work with communities?
Absolutely. NGOs, the local NGOs, if they are prepared and their capacities built, wherever industry clusters are there, they can participate and work closely with the factories to, deliver these kind of training programs that we are developing.
So they will work with you?
Yeah, I mean, we are putting together capacity building modules. We are conducting training of trainers. And NGOs can always, come forward and get these training programs, and they can work in their own region and clusters wherever the factories, small and medium factories are operating.
Because the canvas is so large that, to reach to the community level.
Yeah.
How are you sensitizing the companies in India who are using the supply chain? What you mentioned is the bigger global brands.
India, unfortunately, is a sad situation at this point as far as supply chain is concerned, because there are no local drivers to push the supply chain thinking or sustainability or sustainability in the supply chain. I'm hoping by introduction of the national voluntary guidelines that the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has issued, that might help. But currently, irrespective of the size or the brand or the brand of the company in India, you go and ask them, supply chain is not and sustainability. Combination of supply chain and sustainability doesn't feature. So that's what my experience so far has been.
Anything else you would like to share?
Well, we are putting together a program for domestic market also for sensitization of. We are in fact partnering with an organization called I Feel Alliance from London, where we are focusing on sensitizing the 100, 200 top companies on voluntary standards in supply chains. Okay. So how do you, in your sustainability or CSR program, how do you not just look at the communities, also look at your suppliers and building their capacities as part of sustainability or CSR programs? So that's another program which we are launching this year. So
Okay.
hopefully we'll have something.
Yeah, one of the questions, how far is a company responsible, in India, of course, I'm talking about now, for something wrong at the supplier's end? For example, say I'm talking about an automobile company, uh, and then we talk about, the tires are getting small shops across the country wherein the fellow who changes the tires is basically a child labor. So how is a company which manufactures those tires responsible to that end?
Well, as I mentioned, the drivers in domestic market are missing for looking at supply chain as a part of your business, and which is unlike the case of global brands. Now, global brands, there are issues in terms of, because they are targeted for sweatshops and poor conditions in workplace for workers in factories. That's where they are sensitized and working. My hope is going forward that will come in India also, when companies will start looking at their supply chain as an integral part of business, vis-a-vis sustainability also. Not just production and quality and all that stuff, or spares or anything, but also other things. So if it has happened in the global brands or the global businesses, it will happen in India also.